Hey kids, welcome back. One of my other conditions, an undiagnosed one, is Generalized Anxiety Disorder, GAD. And yeah, it's not diagnosed, so I can't be sure, but it's quite obvious the more I think about it. You know, when you sort through things, the variables become apparent. And it's probably a lot more fundamental in me than borderline. It's probably a reason I developed borderline. And according to the new way of looking at diagnosis, the ICD-11 way, I have a personality disorder. So that means that there's something fundamentally wrong on certain parameters. I will try to learn more about this and analyze it, but the short answer is that all former personality disorders are now clumped together into a new diagnosis with borderline as a kind of separate thing that it's a certain kind of, a grade on the side, borderline on the side, grading how much borderline you have, because usually people have that in one way or another, or a tendency to it. It's very intimately connected and should be separated. I'm not sure why. As I said, I didn't really looked up on how it works, but yeah, it's interesting. It's gives a lot of answers to why things are like they are in my life. So pottery, archaeology on the field. But it gives me a lot of answers why I've struggled with feeling very worried about things all through my life. It's a constant struggle in my life, has been, and I've become a lot better dealing with it thanks to the borderline diagnosis and the general way I'm dealing with that through distracting myself when I'm stressed out and mentalization, being able to focus on what is happening and the emotion at hand, and trying to seeing it from a distance. And it has helped me in general, even when things are really, really bad. I've noticed a massive difference in the last 2 years. I don't think that it's very easy for me to develop an anxiety attack, because those happened about 4 or 5 times in my life before this. I freaked out completely about things and felt really, really bad. Horrible, actually. So, no more of those. And I'm also just less stressful about things in general. And this is a relative thing. Compared to someone who is not stressed at all, I'm probably looking completely freaked out. But yeah, compared to myself, it's like night and day. And I am so much more in control of situations where I usually stressed out in the past. Could be when the general thing is when a lot of things happen at the same time. That's probably the worst thing for me. I'm generally very good at dealing in one thing, a stressful thing, but when several things are happening and I'm not able to breathe, then things really, really get bad. There's an ear marking for cattle. Also interesting find. Not sure why it's here. a lot of interesting things out on the field. I should probably walk out more. The rapeseed. Is this what the Americans call canola? I'm not sure. We have plenty of it here in where I live in the south of Sweden. Produces oil used for cooking. We call it rapeseed at least, or the Swedish word for it. Anyway, I just wanted to mention this. I am going to look into the personality disorder and the new variables in the future. I will have a lot of spare time in the summer, and I will look into how these new, I think it's 5 criteria, how they manifest, what they are, so that, I can redefine things maybe according to the recent science in the field. Not that it matters greatly, but because in the end it's mainly definitions, but I've also noticed that when you get new definitions, you get new ways of describing things, and when you do so, you can actually get new insights. They are not changing the labels just for namesake, just for fun. They are doing it because in many ways these new labels are efficient, very well thought out things to describe personality disorder better than the older labels. And I'm pretty sure that the older labels are going to remain, because there will be situations where they are superior to describe things. But slowly it is likely that personality disorder will replace the old separate disorders, at least in the medical sense. But so did emotional instability personality syndrome, supposedly with borderline. I think there's another definition also in English, which is probably the one I'm not. Well, you know what I mean. There's another definition in English for borderline. That is the quote-unquote correct one to use, but no one does it in well, not what I've seen at least. Here where I live in Sweden, borderline is a discarded term professionally. It is replaced with APES, which is a acronym for emotional instability personality syndrome. Very descriptive, very fine in that way. But there are aspects with the old name, borderline, that is better. I've talked about this in the past. The aspect of psychosis that is actually present in really bad cases of borderline. And the just general thing that people have heard of borderline. And yeah, I get it. That's a two-edged sword. You get the preconceptions on how people with borderline are a certain way, and you just relabel it. It's a proven marketing thing. You relabel a thing, and yeah, you get a new audience, a new perspective, and new eyes, and people don't have the preconceptions that they used to do. But it's problematic, because then also people will have no knowledge about it. Anyways, these labels are now a bit dated again because of personality disorder, which in many ways restores the use of borderline as a term again. Because the simple fact is that borderline has not disappeared. It didn't. So yeah, and I'm fine. I have borderline, and I'm fine with the label borderline, despite the terms. Saying that, as I've also said, I've decided to make this channel anonymous because of the problems associated with this diagnosis. So yeah, there's that as well. I'm not completely maybe honest about things to myself, but you understand, I think, what I mean. More archaeology. Piece of bone. Oh, interesting. This is, by the way, for those who don't know it, a potato field before the potato comes up. So, labels. They come with benefits, they come with perks, and they come with a lot of problems, no matter the label you choose. I try to cherry pick the best of everything and use it when needed. That is my view on things, on this. Anyways, I was supposed to do a video about GAD, or General Anxiety Disorder, but there's not much to talk about it. It's not a topic I'm very knowledgeable in. It's new for me, as it is for as borderline is, but I haven't really read up on it because I was so focused on borderline. That was the acute, probably most dangerous, most painful, most stressful thing, the borderline flares. But the underlying thing, the thing behind it, the evil mastermind, if you will, that is not borderline, that is GAD, General Anxiety Disorder. For sure it is, or at least in some strange cooperation. That's the good thing about this new label. You don't really have to define the amounts and the levels and the whats and the who's. Not at least you're just generally interested. I'm not going to pursue it. I'm not going to invest any more time in healthcare than I need for my own sake, because it is extremely draining. It's like, you have this festering wound, and to improve the wound you have to remove the scab, and then you start bleeding again, all of that. And no, I'm not interested in removing anything here, because I think it is healing on its own. I don't think I need any therapy on the GAD. I think we live in a over-therapized world. That's not a word, I know it, but you know what I mean. I think we are all too invested in reaching out and getting help from another people. Yeah, I know that sounds strange coming from someone who has this channel, reaching out, trying to help others, but that's the thing about modern way of treating things. Modern therapy is a lot focused on your own self-help, your own therapy, your own things. So you should not expect that speaking with someone over and over again is what helps you. It is you moving on that helps you. You get the tools and then you move on. And I have the tools. I think so, at least. It feels like that. I have the tools from my borderline and I will use them here as well. It is like this big eureka, aha feeling that, wait a minute, this works for GAD as well. Probably works for a lot of disorder things. And yeah, there's going to be probably things that it doesn't work with, but yeah, that time when if that comes up, I will re-evaluate things, of course. So it's not a nice spring day. It's actually a bit chilly and a bit cold, but yeah, things are looking okay here. My old cat is still bad, but he's still alive. I'm keeping him alive because he's not deteriorated. If anything, he's actually become a little bit better. So that's why he's getting a bit of respite for now. We'll see what will happen. Every day is a new day. And I'm coming up on my, well, it's not my last week of this work I'm at. It is my second last week. I think I have 9 days left or something like that, or 8. No, wait a minute, I'm completely off. I have 6 days left. Then it's over. Then it's summer break here. 3 months of summer break. That is going to be interesting. I will have a lot of idle time to think about things in an unnecessary way, probably. So follow the channel, subscribe, and learn in real time what idleness does to a borderline mind that is recovering. Will it set things back? Will it make no difference? Will it make things better? I don't know. And yeah, I will report throughout the summer, so you can learn probably things as well. And yeah, until the next video, have a good one.